But even Jeff Luhnow, which we just went on and on about the prowess and the success that he had as a general manager in Houston, he started in 2012. Back-to-back 100-loss seasons, which, again, were not very fun times around Minute Maid Park, around Houston, but then got to the playoffs in 2015, his fourth year. Won the World Series in his sixth year. Are we going to give Nick Caserio and even Rafael Stone that same leash to build back a franchise that is, at the bottom of their respective leagues?
I think you have to see progress along the way so that you know that the plan is taking shape if you're ownership and people.
And that doesn't always mean wins.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Go back to the Caserio quote we always go back to, but you have to see progress within players, progress within the team, progress within the structure, management, and manager or coach and coaches that are developing these players along the way as well. But it's not wins and losses. It's the individuals and their progress, and then as a team, as a unit, showing progress that this team is getting closer to knocking on the door to getting into the playoffs. And so I would say from a general manager's perspective, it's probably, we always say, like, depending on if it's college or pro, a 3-year window is probably the start of where the evaluation really gets down to the nitty-gritty. Are you doing it? Are you making change?
Yeah.
Or are you the reason that we're not?
I think you can tell in the first 3 years if they're, incompetent.
Exactly.
And that's why you see GMs and coaches get fired year one, year two, because you don't see the progress and you realize this guy is making it worse.
Right. So I think that the crosshairs get firmly in place after 3 years where the evaluation gets really, really detailed in terms of what you're seeing or not seeing that you expected. Then within that 3 to 5 year window is when you have to see that biggest jump to get back into postseason. And I think that's where general managers, that's the fair window, a 5-year game plan to basically put the evaluation on a talent evaluator and decision maker for your team.
Look, it comes down to the whole, it even comes down to the argument with the Fighting Rex Burkheads win you a game versus winning 2 games with a bunch of rookies. You can go backwards, win-loss record, and still be showing progress as an organization. The Houston Texans won 4 games last year. Do we feel like the Houston Texans are in a better spot without even playing a snap in 2022 than they were in 2021?
They're already better.
I agree that the arrow's pointing up for the Houston Texans. The arrow's pointing up for Nick Caserio. If they win 3 games next year, but you see that the young pieces are actually looking like they're going to be everyday starters.
Davis Mills is taking this team on scoring drives. He's not making the same mistakes he made a year ago. That's progress.
Hey guys, back to the video in just 1 minute. Before that, I want to tell you about Fitz Roofing. Fitz Roofing is dedicated to the loyal people of Houston, Texas. That means if you got a leaky roof or need a full roof replacement on your business or your home, or you want to get something done around the yard or maybe something around the house, they have the best warranties in the business, the best ratings, and the best service. They're going to take care of you every step of the way. Fitz Roofing, making a difference, one home at a time.
Right. So if you go 3-14, you took a step back win-loss record, but Kenyon Green's looking like a franchise left guard. You have Titus Howard that maybe you're looking to re-sign. Davis Mills, you can even eliminate Davis Mills from the conversation. Is John Mitchell going to be a future top 3 receiver on your team? Is Christian Harris going to be the answer at middle linebackers? Derek Stingley going to be a lockdown corner? All those answers can be yes, and you still win 3 games, and you're still making progress as an organization.
Yeah, because we said it was the worst roster in the entire NFL a year ago. In a year's time, if you're showing progress, that you're creating depth, you're creating talent, and you're creating a focus that the plan is working, then you're doing everything that you could possibly be asked to do with where you started and where you are at this point.
Look, even if you look at Luhnow as the example here, he inherited a team that won 56 games. I mean, they were brutal. They were bad. He won 56 games, which is probably around the equivalent of 4-12, 4-13, if we're being honest with you. His first 2 seasons, they went backwards in the win-loss record. They won 55 games his first year. They won 51 games his second year. If Nick Caserio does that, if Nick Caserio wins 4 games, then 3 games, are we going to jump off the Nick Caserio train?
You shouldn't, because you should also evaluate the entire body of work. What players did you bring into the organization? What players did you ship out? How did you handle everything else as it equates to the overall big picture? Because sometimes you got to take the trash out and you got to get rid of a whole lot by addition by subtraction before you're truly on the right path.
Caserio's in such a unique situation. He came in without the early draft picks in year 1, right? He came in with a superstar quarterback who you got to trade, but you don't know what the situation's going to be. There's no scenario where you can move on from Caserio after this year. But I will say, I think he could be on the hot seat if the young pieces don't look good.